Giudici Lowe reveals what happened to vicious family dog. June 25, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Sister Wives News fans. Giudici Lowe is a dog lover. He recently shared a quote that his grandfather told him, "A man without a dog is not a wealthy man." But the Bachelor star hasn't had the best of luck bringing dogs into his family. He shares 3 kids with his wife, Giudici Lowe. One of his young sons was hurt by a dog the family rescued a few years ago. Giudici Lowe was attacked twice in March by another dog the family adopted earlier this year. He recently shared an update on both of the dogs. Giudici Lowe reveals how he explained getting rid of dog to kids. The Bachelor couple have 3 children, Samuel 9, Isaiah 7, and Mia, who turned 6 later this year. The kids begged for a dog for Christmas. The family adopted a 7-year-old boxer named Moose at the beginning of the year. Sean and Catherine often shared videos on social media with Moose and their kids, but the couple took to Instagram in March with some heartbreaking news. They had to give Moose up after the dog attacked Giudici Lowe twice during the same weekend. The kids and Catherine were present for part of the second attack. Giudici Lowe was rushed to the ER with multiple bites on his arms. They chose to reveal the details of the attack on social media because they knew their followers would start asking questions about why the dog wasn't included in their posts anymore. Giudici Lowe recently spoke to E! News about how the family is handling the traumatic event 3 months later. He shared how he broke the news to the kids that the dog had to leave the family. Moose had something wrong in his head, and unfortunately, these things happen, and so it's not really safe because Daddy can't trust that he's not going to act out like this again, Sean said that he told the kids. He added that he was concerned that seeing part of the dog attack would make the 3 young children afraid of dogs. However, he said that they still love dogs and often beg to go pet dogs in the neighborhood. The Lowe family recently reunited with former family dog. Moose wasn't the first rescue dog the Lowes had to rehome after a bite. They adopted a bull mastiff named Gus in 2022. The family was forced to send Gus away a year later after he bit Samuel. He recently took to Instagram to share that he took the kids to visit Gus at a dog training facility in Dallas, Texas. Bachelor star shares advice for kids and dogs. Giudici Lowe said that he has tried to reinforce the idea to his kids that dogs are their friends, but he offered advice for other parents about letting young kids interact with dogs, whether they are family dogs or unknown dogs. His first advice was that no one should pet a dog without permission or put their hands in the dog's face. Some dogs see that as a threat. Ask the owner, "May I pet your dogs? Are they friendly? How should I pet him?" Things like that, because that's so important, the Bachelor star also advised. Do you agree with his advice? Sound off in the comments with other advice.
Been known to his fans as the calm, loving, and level-headed bachelor who found love on national television. But few knew about the shadow that loomed over his family's life, a shadow with 4 legs and razor-sharp teeth. In an exclusive interview, Sean finally opened up about the tumultuous tale of the vicious family dog, a story no one expected from the forever charming Texan, the arrival of Thor. It was a crisp autumn evening when the Lowe family decided to bring home their newest addition, a large muscular Rottweiler pup they named Thor. The little ball of fur looked harmless enough with floppy ears and big, curious eyes that melted hearts instantly. "We wanted a dog that could be both a protector and a loving companion," Sean recalled, his voice calm but with a hint of nostalgia. At first, Thor was just like any other puppy, playful, a little mischievous but full of energy. But as Thor grew, so did his temper. Signs of trouble. Thor's behavior began to change when he reached about 6 months old. The playful nips turned into aggressive growls, and the innocent curiosity morphed into territorial snarls. Sean's wife, Catherine, noticed it first. He would snap at the kids during playtime, and sometimes he'd bark aggressively at visitors. We thought it was just protective instincts, but it escalated fast. One afternoon, Sean was grilling in the backyard when a neighbor's child came too close to Thor's fenced territory. The dog lunged and barked fiercely, causing the child to run away in tears. "We realized then it wasn't just a phase," Sean said, shaking his head. "Thor was becoming dangerous." Attempts to fix the problem. Determined to save their beloved pet, Sean and Catherine enrolled Thor in obedience training classes. They worked tirelessly, dedicating hours each day to teaching Thor commands, rewarding good behavior, and socializing him with other dogs. But the aggression persisted. One terrifying night, Thor attacked Sean's father during a family visit, a nip on the arm that left a deep bruise and a shaken elder. "We had to make a tough decision," Sean admitted, the pain in his eyes unmistakable. "For the safety of everyone, we couldn't keep Thor as he was." The turning point. The Lowes explored different options. They considered specialized trainers, behaviorists, even medication for Thor, but each step was met with resistance from the dog whose aggression seemed rooted deeper than anyone anticipated. "We loved Thor like family, but the risk was too high," Sean said, his voice faltering. "Eventually, we made the heartbreaking decision to find him a new home." The goodbye. Finding a new home for Thor wasn't easy. The family was upfront with prospective adopters about the dog's aggressive tendencies, hoping to find someone experienced enough to handle him. Finally, they connected with a rescue organization specializing in rehabilitating dogs with behavioral issues. The organization promised to work closely with Thor, providing the structure and environment he needed. On the day they said goodbye, Sean's youngest daughter clung to Thor, tears streaming down her face. "It was one of the hardest moments of my life," Sean reflected. "But sometimes love means letting go." Moving forward. Though Thor was no longer with them, Sean and Catherine continued to support the rescue's efforts and received occasional updates on Thor's progress. "It's been about 2 years," Sean said with a smile. "Thor has come a long way. He's calmer, more trusting, and in the right hands, he's finally the dog we always hoped he'd be." Sean's story isn't just about a vicious dog. It's about the struggle, heartbreak, and tough choices that come with loving a pet who battles inner demons. "It taught me a lot about patience, responsibility, and the limits of love," Sean said. "And I hope anyone going through something similar knows they're not alone." Sean Lowe was always known for his calm demeanor and warm smile, the kind of guy you'd expect to be the perfect family man. His story on The Bachelor had captivated millions, but few knew the private struggles that had tested him behind the scenes, especially the mysterious saga involving the family dog that everyone whispered about but no one dared to ask. Today, Sean was finally ready to reveal the truth. The introduction, a perfect family picture. When Sean first brought home Rex, his energetic German Shepherd, life seemed perfect. The dog was a birthday gift to his young son, Joshua, a bundle of joy with shining eyes and boundless energy. For a while, Rex was the star of the family Instagram page, with adorable photos of him playing fetch and snuggling up with the kids. But soon things took a darker turn. The social media posts became fewer, the smiles in the pictures masked the anxiety growing behind the scenes. Sean and his wife, Catherine, started noticing strange behavior from Rex, sudden growls, snarls at visitors, even an alarming bite incident. What was happening to their once gentle giant? The first warning signs. Sean recalls the first incident that changed everything. "It was one afternoon my brother came over with his kids. Rex was usually so friendly, but that day he barked aggressively and snapped at my nephew. It was so out of character, we couldn't believe it. The bite wasn't serious, but it was enough to shake the family." Sean and Catherine decided to consult a vet and a dog behaviorist, desperate to understand what had triggered Rex's shift. The hidden truth. Rex's past. What Sean uncovered shocked him. The breeder who sold Rex hadn't been fully honest. Rex had a history of trauma and abuse that the family wasn't aware of. Rex was rescued from a terrible situation before we got him. He was abused, left chained in a backyard, neglected for months. That kind of trauma doesn't just disappear overnight. The revelation explained Rex's sudden aggression, but it didn't make the situation any easier. The family struggled to adapt, torn between love for Rex and the fear for their safety. The turning point, when fear took over. One evening, after a particularly scary episode where Rex lunged at a delivery person, Sean and Catherine made a difficult decision. "We realized we had to do something. We couldn't live in fear anymore, not just for our safety, but for Rex's well-being too." They enrolled Rex in intensive behavior training, hiring a specialist who worked with aggressive dogs. The sessions were tough and slow, filled with setbacks and moments of doubt. But the family held on to hope. The unexpected ally, a new friend for Rex. During one of the training sessions, Rex met Bella, a calm and gentle golden retriever from the trainer's other dogs. Something about Bella's patience and kindness started to soften Rex's demeanor. It was like Bella was the key we didn't know we needed. Rex started responding differently, less fear, less aggression. Bella became a permanent addition to the family, a symbol of healing and hope. The two dogs became inseparable, and slowly the tense atmosphere at home began to ease. The community's reaction, mixed feelings. Despite the progress, not everyone in the neighborhood was convinced Rex had changed. Rumors spread about the vicious dog living next door, and some families kept their distance. "It hurt, honestly," Sean admitted. "People judged Rex and us without knowing the full story." To change perceptions, Sean shared their journey on social media, the struggles, the setbacks, the victories. Fans of Sean and followers of his story rallied behind him, offering words of encouragement and sharing their own pet struggles. The final challenge, Rex's test. The real test came months later. One afternoon, a stranger jumped the fence during a family barbecue, causing a commotion. Rex instinctively barked and growled but didn't attack. That moment showed me that Rex wasn't the dog he used to be. He was protective, yes, but controlled. We had made it through. It was a triumphant moment for the family, proof that love, patience, and the right help can change even the most troubled souls.
canine or human. Sean's message: healing takes time. Sean closes his heartfelt revelation with a message to families facing similar struggles. If you have a dog or loved one struggling with trauma or behavior issues, don't give up. Seek help, be patient, and remember, healing takes time. Rex is proof that even the hardest hearts can soften with love.